Hello, welcome to this A1 Beginner Lesson 14 with me, Kate. Today we're looking at the verb be, singular and plural form. So specifically, there is, there are, when to use there is and when to use there are. So let's get started. We're going to look at this picture. This is a picture of a town. Can you find in the picture a boy? A boy. Can you find a boy? Oh, here's a boy. Here's a boy. And here's a boy. A boy. Can you find a girl? A girl. A girl. I can see in the middle of the picture, here's a girl. Well done. Can you find a baby? A baby. A baby. I have a look at the picture. I can see in the pushchair here, outside the cafe, there is a baby. A baby. Can you find a tree? A tree. A tree. I can see here in the middle of the square, in the square is a tree. A tree. Can you find a dog? A dog. A dog. Well, let's have a look in the square. Here's a dog and here's a dog. Well done. Okay, so are these sentences true or false? Are these sentences true or false? The first one. There are 3 or 4 young women in the cafe. There are 3 or 4 young women in the cafe. There are 3 or 4 young women in the cafe. Is this true or false? Let's have a look. Here's the cafe. I can see 1, 2, 3 women. So I would say this is true. There are 3 young women in the cafe. Let's look at the next one. In the cafe, there's a woman with her baby. In the cafe, there's a woman with her baby. In the cafe, there's a woman with her baby. Well, let's have a look. In the cafe, I can't see a baby in the cafe. The baby is outside of the cafe in the square. So I would say that's false. In the cafe, there isn't a woman with her baby. Well done. Let's look at the next one. There are 2 waiters in the cafe. There are 2 waiters in the cafe. There are 2 waiters in the cafe. Is this true or false? Again, let's have a look at the cafe. I can see 1 waiter here, but I can't see another one. So there aren't 2 waiters in the cafe. That's false. Next one. On the left of the cafe, there's a hotel. On the left of the cafe, there's a hotel. On the left of the cafe, there's a hotel. Again, here's the cafe. On the left of the cafe, I can see there's a hotel. So this is true. On the right of the cafe, there's a restaurant. On the right of the cafe, there's a restaurant. On the right of the cafe, there's a restaurant. Okay, so here's my cafe. Let's have a look on the right of the cafe. There isn't a restaurant. There's a supermarket. So I would say that's false. On the right of the cafe, there isn't a restaurant. There's a supermarket. There are 2 girls and 2 boys in the square. There are 2 girls and 2 boys in the square. So let's have a look in the square. I can see 1 girl and I can see 1, 2, 3 boys. So that's false. There aren't 2 girls and 2 boys in the square. There is 1 girl and 3 boys in the square. There are 2 dogs in the square. There are 2 dogs in the square. There are 2 dogs in the square. Well, again, let's have a look at the square. And here's a dog and here's another dog. So yes, that's true. There are 2 dogs in the square. That's true. There are a lot of trees in the square. There are a lot of trees in the square. There are a lot of trees in the square. Well, again, let's have a look at the square. I can only see 1 tree. That's not a lot. That's just one. So it's false. There aren't a lot of trees in the square. There's only one tree in the square. There are two old women near the tree. There are two old women near the tree. There are two old women near the tree. Okay, so let's have a look at the tree. I'm near the tree and I can see two men, but I can't see any old women. So I would say that's false. There aren't two old women near the tree. There are two men near the tree. Well done. So let's have a look at some of these sentences that we were looking at. These three phrases are singular. We are just talking about one hotel, one waiter, one supermarket. They are singular. So what's the missing word? That's right. There is a hotel in the square. What about sentence number 2? What's the missing word? That's right. There is a waiter in the cafe. There is a waiter in the cafe. It's singular. And the last one, what's the missing word? That's right. On the right of the cafe, there is a supermarket. On the right of the cafe, there is a supermarket. So when we're using the verb to be in the singular, it is always is. But remember, there is contracted to there's. So our sentences would actually be, there's a hotel in the square, there's a waiter in the cafe, and on the right of the cafe, there's a supermarket. Well done. So these are our singular sentences. What about these plural sentences? We are talking about 2 dogs, 3 women, and 3 boys. These are our plural sentences. So what's the missing word? There are 2 dogs in the square. There are 2 dogs in the square. Well done. What about this next sentence? There are 3 women in the cafe. There are 3 women in the cafe. Well done. And the last one. There are 3 boys and 1 girl in the square. There are 3 boys and 1 girl in the square. So we can see that when we're using the verb to be with plural objects, we use are. There are. Well done. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. I have a question for you. Is there a good restaurant in your town? Is there a good restaurant in your town? Please leave the comments below. There is for singular, there are for plural. I look forward to reading those. Don't forget to subscribe and show your support. And coming next in lesson 15, how to pronounce as in thing or this. We will be doing some pronunciation work. So I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.